Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Testing. We testing in the house? What's up, Cat? It's been a long time. Like, really freaking long time, actually. Let me get out of here. What's going on? Wait. Alright, there we go. Alright. Something's going on weird with my thing. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Good to see ya. What's up, Arson? It's been ages. It's been a hot minute. Or a cold one, actually. It's been very cold recently. It's not really hot minutes. It's cold minute. Can't hang this time, catch the vibe. No worries. Thanks for being here either way. And wait, let me check my settings to make sure. Yep, good. All right. So once again, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since I mean, if you're watching this in the past, you're probably watching this like on Patreon and in continuous form. So if you're watching this like serial, like episode by episode, it probably doesn't seem like a long time in hindsight. But for everybody else who's watching it live, it has been quite some time. Thank you for waiting. I was in Japan for a month, so I couldn't stream at all. And then I came back at crazy jet lag. So I didn't do as much as I wanted to do during the what I guess for people who have school and work at school or winter break. I didn't really get a chance to do much during that time, but we at least got to do the birthday stream, and I got to thank you guys so much for coming out to that. That was a really cool time. It was fun, and I appreciate it. We at least had some fun on that one, so I'm excited for that. That was a really good time. So, yo, is that wow, Julian? Wow, Julie. Sorry, I don't know if I should say your full name on the stream, but it's great to see you. Thanks for coming. Winter MC, that actually feels like winter this time. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't know. This is my first winter in New York since 2021. So it's been a solid 5 years. So I don't really remember what winter was like here for like an actual accurate winter. But yeah, I'm happy about it because I like winter. Winter is like my favorite season. It's not my second favorite. I'd say fall might be my favorite season, probably. But it's hard to say. So, but yeah. Good stuff. So I guess I got a couple of updates. So I'm gonna make an actual update to this on my my main page. I should. It's not really something I should be doing specifically. It should really be something that Sios is doing themselves. But there is an update regarding mouthpieces. So those of y'all who are using my mouthpiece or want to use my mouthpiece or are general fans of the mouthpiece, my Patrick Wortley Styles model, may have noticed, of course, that the original design was taken off the website for a while. It probably still is down right now from the website. It's probably gone. And one of the reasons why is because they were having issues printing it with the new material they're using. They're making like a new, more durable material that's supposed to like last longer than the previous ones, which is great. We love that. We love to see that. But I think they were having problems with my design, but they said they found a way to make it work. So they said at least somewhere in the middle of Q1 here. So I guess February or March, they said it'll be back up. So for those who are waiting to get that mouthpiece or wondering what's going on with it, don't worry. Like, even if you buy the new design, it's still going to be my architecture. It's still going to be my sound. But it's just that design is just not going to be there, which I know is part of the allure, part of the appeal of it. But yeah. Sorry about that. Again, like, I wish they would have made an announcement about it, but they told me about it, and I was like, okay, like, maybe I'll make an announcement. I'm not sure what they want me to do or what anybody wants anybody to do, but that's kind of what I thought, like, okay, I'll just do it. But yeah, fear not, it will come back. I should test it out and see if it's better or worse. True. That's funny. But yeah, anyway, we're clips of the week, y'all. This is episode 9. If you can see it up there, which is, if you can believe it or not, we're approaching the 10th episode. What am I going to do for the 10th episode? Interesting. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm happy. I'm here for it. Andy, you tested it? The racing stripes make you play better. Is it racing? I never thought about it that way. Wait, so you tried it, Andy? Oh yeah, taking it down to Brazil with Guava São Paulo. Sao. That's its sound. Guava São Paulo. I can't say Sao. Sao Paulo. There we go. This has actually been one of my favorite flavors recently. Highly recommend it. New material is spongy. I can call you. Okay, I didn't know. All right, I'll call you Mina. All right. Um, weird, spongy. Interesting. But anyway, let's check out the clips we got today. I actually had some things I wanted to show y'all that I thought were really freaking hilarious at first. Um, let's go into React suggestions. Wow, there's been a lot in here since I last looked. Let's go more recent, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here since I last looked. Some stuff is irrelevant. Yeah. Well. Anyway, let me show you guys something that I think is hilarious. Most will be Spangate. Yeah, I saw, and I was like, on my birthday, no less. Like, really? On the 7th? It's like, what's going on there? All right, so if I pull up my lesson, guys, if I pull up my lesson page. Also, I gotta apologize if I'm not super pepped up today. I didn't really have that good of a day today. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm trying not to bring that to y'all. So I was actually looking forward to this stream more than anything. So I appreciate y'all being here because this is like kind of the one thing I think that's making me feel cool. But yeah, YouTube's being really interesting right now. I mean, the video I put up is getting the worst engagement out of all the videos I put up in the past like month or so. And stream is we're kind of chirping a little bit. I appreciate y'all that are here, but I wonder what's going on. Is there like and also the grocery stores are crowded today. Like, is today like a? You said I made a typo in my community post. Hold on. Where is the? Oh. Wow. I tried to put not. Dang, that's crazy. I guess because I typed it on my phone. Wow, that's a crazy typo for 4 hours ago. And I think a lot of people. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks. I did make a typo. I kind of made that post like. Wow. Thanks. I kind of made that post like when I was in not such a good state, and I think, yeah. All right. Anything. Anyway. Okay. So. Why can't I edit this? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Speaking of Spaingate. Oh boy, I can't make this up. So, either somebody somehow bought this email address, or they didn't sign in with a Google account. Because I need to show y'all something that concerns me. So, for those who don't know, like I put up my sax lesson form. So if you want to sign up to have possibility at lessons, I'm still scheduling for this week. I have some openings, but it's getting filled up pretty fast because there are 88 responses. So it's already getting filled up. So yeah, you You didn't hear you didn't mishear that. I did stop talking for a reason because I'm showing you something on the screen. The only reason I'm putting this here is because someone's trolling me. Bro bought the country of Spain's email like it was nothing. Yeah, I don't know what 15-year-old this was, but I don't know. I don't know what 15-year-old this was, but look at the age. That's why I said I don't know. I don't know what 15-year-old this was, but Spain at gmail.com, folks. Age 67, of course. Highest education level, self-taught. Had private lessons before? Of course not. Self-taught. Previous teachers, optional. Me, of course. Years playing 10. What does such an arbitrary number? They just couldn't think of anything. They just didn't care. Times on ESC, that's cool. They just checked every box. No reason for studying. And for the example, like, you know, I asked to give 1 to 3 recordings of you playing so I can, you know, check you out and make sure that you're actually up to the skill level that I require for playing my lessons. And the recording reference they put is smallslive.com. All right. So, now that we got this over with. But yeah, I'm going to be doing these every month. If I'm really free, sometimes multiple times a month. There'll be another week in February where I'm doing this, so look out for that. But right now we have this week that we're currently filling up at the moment. So, yeah, be on the lookout for this post at the top of every month. I'm going to be talking about my schedule for my sax lessons when I can do them. So, thank you guys. But yeah, don't send applications like this because obviously I'm not going to send an email to Spain at gmail.com. This is not happening. So, anyway. All right. Yes, a real person did submit that. Absolutely. Can you believe it? Is the legend himself? Is it? Is it really? All right. I actually have where is my updated a few days ago? Is the video gone? Okay, it's here. I want to organize this. How can I sort playlists? Why does it not let me sort it? Playlist settings. It's not. Oh, manual. No, they added newest. There we go. So there's a video that I saw that I wanted to react to live on stream to kind of open things up because I'm not sure. Like, you know, I'm gonna check everybody else's things up, but there's a video I saw that I was like, hey, let's watch this together, because I'm very curious to see what it's like. The video was posted 8 days ago. I saw it 3 days ago. It's called "Can Live Music Actually Survive? Is Jazz the Answer?" So one of the reasons I want to look at this video is because I'm very curious to see if it's going to talk about AI. I'm curious if it's just going to talk about the current social landscape in general. I have no idea what it's going to talk about. So I think this is a good opportunity to check this out and see what's going on with it, actually. So, all right. So let's unmute this. Lion, I know it's that's why I haven't entertained it. That's why I literally, bro, you realize that if I would have put a video up about it, you do realize that, Lion. If I put a video up about Spain, and if I did, I would not be living it down. That it would still be popping up right now. Maybe that's what I should have did to get, if I really wanted more money, maybe I should have did that, but I'm really not trying to do anything like that. So, okay, so you saw this video. You won't spoil anything. It's an interesting perspective. Maybe you saw the bodybuilding I'm doing now. Is it like it's getting to my head? Maybe all the positivity is making me more. It's maturing me out a little too much. Maybe that's why I didn't waste my time with the Spain thing. Yo, maybe if you want to maximize shareholder investment, you should have made one Spain video a week. Yo. One Spain video a week is crazy. And the videos literally have nothing to do with Spain or See, when you say STL, I can't not think St. Louis. STL is not self-taught legend. It's St. Louis. All right. Anyway, yeah. Let's check this out. This is by Mary Spender. She has 790,000 subscribers. Whenever I see like a big account talking about jazz, I'm always wondering, who are they? I don't know who this is, but should I know who they are? Well, anyway, let's check it out.
This video isn't an expose. I don't have access to anyone's books. What follows is a model.
Okay, so she has a British accent, so I'm assuming she's from the UK. I think. I'm sorry if I'm mishearing or misrepresenting or misidentifying the accent, but I'm pretty sure she's from the UK. Sounds like.
Thought experiment built from public prices, published venue details, and conversations with people who actually live inside this world. It started with an essay I wrote for my newsletter about the economics of live music, sparked by a night I spent at the Blue Note in New York City. What surprised me wasn't just how much that night cost, it was the response. Dozens of people wrote back, musicians, venue owners, promoters, lifelong jazz fans. Nobody argued about whether live music mattered. They argued about how it survives. So for this video, I invited them into the conversation because collectively, they understand something spreadsheets don't, where the pressure really sits. And the Blue Note is one of the most famous jazz clubs in the world. It opened in 1981 in Greenwich Village. And since then, everyone from Dizzy Gillespie to Herbie Hancock to Stevie Wonder has...
Hey, wait, this gig, that's not Barry playing bass, is it?
played that stage. For musicians, it's a badge of honor.
I know Barry played with Chris
This isn't
recently.
a bar with a band in the corner. It's like a cathedral. So let's start with the experience, not the outrage. A ticket cost me $35, reasonable. There's also a $20 food and drink.
I will say right now, that's a pretty dang good price. Like when, what time did she say she went to Blue Note? Like what time of day? Nowadays, $35 is like solid as a ticket price for a jazz club. Like in 2026, so I'm assuming this is probably 2025. She went when she made the video. 2025, $35. That's great. Have you seen the prices of jazz concerts these days? Even tickets that like I'm involved with, like of shows that I'm involved with. I'm just like, I don't even want to look at the ticket price sometimes. $35 is like, yeah, that's, if you pay $35 for a show, you should expect to see a decent show, not get overcharged. But I guess there is a $20 food drink minimum, which still, for a club like Blue Note, a legendary club, is still not bad. That's still, I'm not gonna name no names. I don't want to name any names, like, you know, and make people mad and ruin my reputation. But it's still cheaper than certain jazz clubs I won't name. Notice I said clubs with the S. And venues, all, like, you know, it's still not bad. Is there more? I see that there's like a little space underneath. So let's see what else is left. Nope, that's it. Okay. So $55. Hold up.
Reasonable. There's also a $20 food.
That's not bad. Guys, if you are a 20-year-old college student, this ain't for you. But that's why like student discounts and stuff exist in places. Right? But this right here is great. Like, this is something like if I'm going up for a concert, this is kind of what I would expect to pay. Because I mean, even if there's no minimum, you're probably gonna get a drink or something anyway. You know, so come hungry, or get a drink and a snack. You know, whatever. Minimum is kind of frustrating between. I mean, listen, like the food and drink minimum is the thing that supports the staff, right, in the club. The $35 the food and drink minimum is kind of what supports the staff. The $35 ticket is what supports the club. So I personally think that's cool. To me, I don't think that's bad. I think that's totally fine and totally acceptable, in my opinion. But yeah, like somebody talking about the like I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, Japan got some pretty. That one place you said in the chat, Selder. Yeah, and you don't even want to know what kind of seats those are. You don't even have you don't even have like a table. That's like sitting at like maybe the bar or like on a stool. And that 130 price you mentioned, yeah, that's if you want a table. I've paid that ticket price before when back when I was in Japan. For reasons. I did that. But yeah, it's insane. That price. So, yeah, this is not bad to me. I support this, and I know that like some people might not, but it's okay. I get it. I personally support this. Personally. Did we just get paid better there? No. Absolutely not. No. In Japan, I'm gonna get some. I hope it's a good thing most Japanese people don't speak English. Maybe there's some translators. Listen, y'all. In Japan, and this has to change. I don't know what kind of capacity it can, but in Japan, the clubs make the money, not the musicians. If you want to make music, if you want to make money as a musician, bring your freaking records. Which is funny because it's kind of opposite in America. Like, people don't really buy physical stuff unless they want the novelty of it. But in Japan, they will buy, like, you're relying on basically the customers. The fans and the customers are how you make money in Japan. Not the venues. No. They stingy out there. Especially if you live there. Because then you're novelty. You're not novelty anymore. You're a commodity. Corporate stuff is okay. But it's not really a lot of that stuff. And you have to be in a very specific certain, like, the pop stuff is where the money's gonna come in. And even then, like, you gotta be in with those cats. But nah, man, Japan don't really pay, bro. That's one of the reasons I had to leave. I was like, nah, I can't keep doing this. I left. Because, like, I wasn't gonna start there's no way I was gonna really start making serious money in Japan until I really made it big. I need to actually really make it big in order to get some money up in there. And I hate to say it, it's just how it is. But I don't want to talk to. Maybe I'll do a video on that one day. But I don't know. When I become a little bit more independent and not really reliant on business relationships and stuff like that, then Are there any wedding gigs? Sorry, I shouldn't. It's because I live there. I have the reaction. Sorry. Wedding music is very much so a Western concept. It's a Western culture thing. It's not. You're not gonna go into China and Korea and Japan and play like what's the song? Just a small town girl living in a lonely whatever. You're not gonna play that. You're not playing any Uptown Funk. Like that's a Western concept. Like maybe, and I mean maybe, if they're so culturally inclined to want this, maybe like a string quartet or something, or or pianist. Maybe, and even then, I don't know. Thank you. Don't stop believing. Yeah, like maybe that, but like no, ain't no wedding. There's no wedding gig culture scene out there. It's just not like that. That's very much so like an American thing, and of course, like obviously there's probably other countries that do that too. Because yeah, like social music is a Western concept. Like music for social purposes, music for background purposes, like all that type of stuff is very much so a Western concept. And if any of that type of, and if any of those things exist in Japan or Korea or whatever like that, it's because it was borrowed and is an influence from Western culture. But no, it's not like that. Yeah, I never heard anybody talk about a wedding culture because I actually like was talking to a lot of people about that. It's like, hey, like, do they have like bands at weddings and stuff like that? It's like, if you want it, I guess, but low key opened your eyes when it comes up to pop gigs because necessary evil. I don't see pop gigs as a necessary evil. I mean, like, music is music. It just depends on if you like the music or not. I don't have a problem with pop music, really. Like, I think that the way I view pop music is the same way I view, like, like when we talk about food and stuff. Is this stream only? Is that why, Popeyes? Is that why no one's here? Wait a minute. I know what's happening right now. Really? It's unlisted. You're completely correct. Why is it straight up unlisted? There we go. It's public now. Wow, you know what? That means a lot. I'm very happy that we had 22 to 26 viewers of all y'all that clicked on the link. I appreciate that. No. I want it to be unlisted when the stream ends. Oh my God. Let me make a post real quick. Jesus. Hold on. It's fine. It's only 7:35. There's still time. But this is very annoying. It just makes so much sense now. Arson, you're picking up on everything, bro. Oh wait, no, that's not Arson. That was Popeyes. Popeyes and Arson. The mods are doing mod things, man. That's why I made y'all mods. Y'all like really modding out right now. Dang, that live notification would. Okay, well, people are coming in. All right, people are coming in. People, see the viewers. It's so messed up. Yo, okay. I make the stream public and Nathan walks in. What's up, dude? Bro, my stream was unlisted and I had no idea. And I was wondering why. I was like, dang, ain't nobody watching today? What's going on, man? Like, I was kind of like, what the heck is happening? I was going to get lessons off me. I posted the form in my Discord. But we're filling up pretty fast. That's crazy. It doesn't show me being live. Yeah, the unlisted part of the stream is supposed to be the replay. It's supposed to be unlisted. That's hilarious. What the heck are we even talking about? I don't even remember anymore. Hey, Nathan, do you want to see something funny? This is the Patrick Bartley sax lesson sign up sheet. And somebody signed up with Spain@gmail.com. This just won't die. Their name is Self-Taught Legend and their age is 67. They're just meme farming like as fast as they can. They're trying to speed run every like late 2025 brain rot thing they can do at once. Education level, self-taught. Head private lessons, self-taught. Stop. Is this really giving them a platform? Is me reacting to somebody making this meme, signing up on my thing, giving them a platform? I can tell you're new. I purposely did not make content on this. Anyway, I don't have time for that right now. So, but yeah, that I thought it was freaking hilarious. It's so funny, and the reference recording is smallslive.com. I purposely have avoided it for the past 2 weeks. All right, listen, I gotta check because I got a lot of antis. I got a lot of haters out here. A lot of, and I'm just like. I got my dukes up, like, I have to. I just have to. So. Okay, anyway. Peace out, Andy. No worries. I mean, I'm reading your name, so. Yeah, were we talking about pop music? How I don't really care. Yeah. I think that's what we're talking about. Because we were talking about this video, right? And yeah, I'm just like, I don't really, like I said, I don't have, the way I think about pop music is kind of the way I think about certain foods. Good in moderation. I think, think about it. You know how some people can just like eat bags of chips, go to buffets, eat candy before bed, and they're still super skinny. Meanwhile, in order for me to look like this, like to actually see my jawline now, I have to go keto and cut my calories by 600, like every day, right? Some people can just eat whatever they want, right? Like some people can just eat whatever they want, right? And still, like, so that to me, those are the type of people that can listen to pop music constantly every day, right? And have it not affect their outlook on music, have it not affect their playing, have it not affect anything, right? It's just, so you want to, the goal is like, if you're going to be listening to a lot of pop music, the goal is to reach that type of point. But not everyone's like that. Most people, if you eat a lot of junk food, you're going to get fat. That's just how it is. And you're going to have health issues. A lot of people have, what's the word? Taste issues. Like they're flavor blasting their taste buds with pop music. So because they're so flavor blasted, the average person is so flavor blasted that if they hear jazz or hear anything with a vibe that isn't, just packaged pop music, they won't be able to get into it because their taste palette is, they don't like natural foods. Natural fruit sugar is not tasty enough for them. They're flavor blasted. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the analogy I want to give. Like a lot of people can consume a lot of stuff in moderation. Like you can listen to pop music and be like, that's cool. Like, like have one Snickers like once a week or once a month, maybe once every 3 months, and you'll be totally fine, right? Like some people can do that, but most people in modern society can't do that. Most people use music as a tool. You know how like people like, rely on food. They rely on food they stress eat, or they regulate their emotions by eating, like using food instead of like eating food to nourish you. You're like abusing it, right? A lot of people do music that way, and sometimes you have to watch yourself when it comes to music too. Even in jazz, even if you're abusing, you can abuse music. If you're escaping into music to regulate your emotions, you're not actually really utilizing the full like potential of yourself, and that's like really important. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, like pop music is cool. It's social. It's whatever. It serves a purpose, but everything in moderation. So I don't have a problem. So when you're saying like, oh man, like, we have to do pop music as a necessary evil. Like, I don't think it's a necessary evil. I think it is. I think it's necessary as in it's healthy for everybody to experience that, because just like eating McDonald's or whatever can help you understand the science of what makes people like what people like about food. Playing pop music and digging into it and researching it can help you understand what people like about music. There's always something to learn, right? Even if you're not that much into it, there's always something to learn from it. So like I recommend just everyone have as many experiences as possible on this planet, because we only get one life. There's no sense in restricting yourself from things that are not harming you. If it's not going to kill you, why not? If it will kill you, stay away from it because you want to live as long as possible. If it's not going to kill you, why are you going to avoid it? It's just another learning experience. Don't say no to things you haven't done before. Why does the music food analogy work so well always? It was because people consume both. They're both consumables, and they're also easy to abuse. They can both be somewhat like emotionally regulatory substances. They're also both social. Keep that in mind too. They're also both social. So yeah. With J-Pop Geeks, I was just talking to someone about the difference in Japan versus US. Over here, there's no kawaii culture, so stuff like that is seen as sort of amateurish, not much of a market for it. Character limit. That's all good. But yeah. Yeah, it's true. Julianne, like the thing about that is that it's niche. It's kind of like in Japan, a lot of American things. Like I've seen such crazy stuff in Japan. It's so crazy. Like I've seen so many like American culture like obsession things, right? Like real like otaku, like reverse otaku stuff, right? Like otaku for American culture, and it's like it is a niche thing. Like obviously people love that stuff over there, but it's like it's not like everybody's into it. It's the same thing, and like anime is really popular over here in America right now, but types of anime, right? Same thing. Like American culture is really big in Japan right now, but types of American culture in the past 5 years have been really interesting. The past 5 years have been interesting for hip hop because now there's like a really gigantic burgeoning hip hop scene in Japan. Not like J hip hop, but like trying to be more like black culture side of hip hop. But it's still very niche. It still feels like the way people are into hardcore anime out here. But I think the American obsession is in every country, but it's different with Japan though. It's a little different with Japan because of the way their culture is in general. Like the way that I see other cultures think about America is that like if their culture doesn't have like I don't know, for example, there's parts of South America and parts of Europe that have like an American obsessions, right? In their culture, or like even Eastern Europe, right? Like they have like, I'll never forget the time I went to Turkey and my friend's mom didn't speak any English at all, but knew every word to like every Michael Jackson song. And it was hilarious. It was amazing. It was a beautiful experience, but they're not religiously devoting themselves to copying that. It's more like it's a part of them, right? It's like they're just expressing another element. In Japan, they become the thing. It's like they're trying to emulate that. It's like it's a completely different thing. Like in my experience with it, at least, it's not like a cosplay or like a temporary like indulgence. It's like they go crazy, they go hard in it, and it's really wild to me when I see it. But that's one of the reasons why Japan is killing the jazz game right now, because they're doing the thing. Mostly, at least, most of the people there that are musicians are doing the thing that we have kind of forgotten how to do, which is actually learn from the records. Learn from the records. They're trying to copy. They're trying to actually, learn from what we left behind that we forgot out here. So we're having to like kind of bring it back and try to bring it back, and go back to it, what they've already been knowing. So that's like one positive of that is the fact that they're actually like, they'll hear something and go really into it and try to learn it. So we have to learn from that. We have to start doing that, or else we're not like, shoot, man, if they learn, if every Japanese jazz musician came over to America, learn how to speak English, got to the culture, I really think most American jazz musicians would be out of a job. Period. Because y'all can't beat Japanese work ethic. You just can't do it. You can't beat Japanese work ethic. You can't beat the seriousness. You can't beat the willingness to work. You can't beat the lack of attitude. You can't beat the selflessness. You just can't do it. Why do you think Yasushi Nakamura is like the most working bass player in the world right now? Not by the fact that he's Japanese, but the fact that just how he is as a person, his culture, like how he sees himself, right? It's a lot of people that just are they're too self-centered. It's a lot of people that are just they just don't want to work. And when I go to Japan and I play with my people, no matter who it is really, right? And I play with my people, man. They just down to do it, and they don't complain about it. If they don't know it, they admit that they don't know it and they try to work on it. I play with some cats out here, man. I'm tired of playing with them, and I will never call them again. Like, it's just some people out here that like they just got their ego was in the way. If they don't know something, they try to play it off. They try to say, this is my way. Well, I just do it differently, It's annoying. I can't say, hey, like the swing feels like this. I can't say, oh, I'm trying to think of this. It's like, I just play different. Like that's how they play, and I'm trying to, it's just America. That's how we're raised in America. As soon as the Americans are raised with this idea that like if you have adversity, it's okay to leave it. You don't have to stay in it. Everything. That's how we're taught. That's how all of us are taught. Right? I had to learn how to get out of this. My biggest growth in life was moving to Japan and learning how to not do that. For example, let's start with some simple things, right? That makes sense. If you don't like certain food, you can throw it away. You don't have to eat it all. Let's get a little more. Or like if you don't like a class in college, you can drop the class. Sometimes you can do that, at least in America. Let's get even more serious, guys. Or no, I'm not gonna get that serious yet. I'm gonna keep going. If you don't like a family member, you can simply cut them off. If you don't like your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, right? Y'all having a bad time in a relationship. Instead of working on your problems, you just find another partner. This is the American way. This is the American way. So, of course, there's no wonder that if you come into a situation that's way less serious than like a relationship, of course, you're going to go into a band room with somebody practicing and they tell you to play a certain way. And then you'll be like, no, I don't play like, but that's just like, I know you want me to play this, but like, that's how they play. Like, I'm going to play this in this way. And I'm like, that bothers me. So going to Japan for 2.5 years was like, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like a mental reset for me. It was like therapy. Cause I always feel when I'm in America, man, sometimes I feel like I'm doing too much. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing more. I'm like overqualified. I don't mean because of my playing. I mean, because I'm willing to, if there's a certain thing, a way to play, I'm like really trying to listen and play with the way the composer wants or the way the band leader wants or like whatever. I'm really trying to do that. And it's like people around me will just be playing however they play. And it's just really weird. I'm just like, dang, am I doing too much? Like, am I doing too much for the job? That's what it feels like. And so I really do have an issue sometimes playing gigs in this country for that reason. Funny enough, I don't experience this issue in Europe either, man. This is such a big American issue. I love playing jazz in Europe, like sometimes because, again, cats out there, they don't take it for granted. I know it's a lot of cats all around the world. Like I'm making generalizations because there's people in Japan that want to be that way too, but it's about the ratio. Like the average musician, even if they feel that way inside, even if there's a musician in Japan that might feel like I want to do this my way, they're not gonna let you see it. You got hired for the job, you're gonna do the job. That's fine. I don't care. Like in that moment, I don't care about how you feel. I hired you and I'm paying you $500 to do this gig. Don't tell me and that's the thing, man. Again, Ooh, I could rant. This could be just gonna start being real talk in a second. I'm on gigs with people where I'm getting paid $1,500, $2,000, sometimes $3,000. And it's these gigs that I'm most afraid to say anything to the band. With some of the top musicians in the world, y'all. I'm afraid to say stuff because they don't want to change how they play. They're like beyond that. They're like, this is how I play. But I'm like, yeah, but this is not your gig. Well, you know, if you call me, you should be calling me for what I do. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. Yes. I agree that like if you've listened to me play and you know that I don't play Brazilian music, but you call me for Brazilian music anyway, that's a mistake. However, if you call me for like a trad gig and I say, yes, I play that music and I'm down, that means that when I show up and you tell me there's a certain way you want to be played in this style, I'm not going to be like, oh, he played it this way, I play it this way. No, because I'm qualified for the gig, so I should be able to accept any type of minute detail changes because I'm well versed in the music to know what you're talking about. Usually, when I go to a gig, people don't even have to tell me to play it a certain way if it's in a certain style because I'm already locked into the way they want me to do it because I humble myself in the music. The music is my God. If it sounds like this, I want to play like this. That's that. I'm playing like that. Not me. I'm not playing like me. I'm playing like the music as close as I can get to the music. But I'm telling you, man, some of these, I've toured around the world with people where they've given me trauma because I'll say something and I'm just like, and I think, oh, I should never say that. I should never say anything again. That's what it feels like. Never have I ever once had that issue in Japan. Not a single time. Not a single time. For the 8 years that I've been going there and playing with bands, never had that problem a single time. So in the case you're talking about, do you think someone is qualified to change the way they play but refuse to? Yes. Yes. Or do you think they straight up can't because they're not actually able to? Both. It's both. Usually it's the second one. In my experience, I can listen to somebody's playing and tell if they've done the homework. Like, you know, you can usually, like, if you're really in there, right, you can tell, like, yeah, they didn't really check out this player, like, or these players. They kind of know how to do it, but they didn't really do it. You know what I mean? They didn't really do that homework that they were supposed to be doing. But the first one, yeah, is unfortunate. Like, they have the technical ability. I mean, these are great musicians. They're like incredible musicians. But they just refuse to change because that's it's whatever. Would it be less frustrating if they just admitted they can't versus saying it's their own style? For me, it would be less frustrating. Yes, for me. But the problem is if they did that, they wouldn't have the gig. So they can't do that. You have to protect your gig at all costs. That's the kind of biggest issue with people doing that. So that's why they don't do it. But I've talked about this enough. But let me go into chat for a little bit. Sorry, because I know that y'all are talking about stuff. Would you, Julie? You said, would you say it's also part of that collective versus individualistic mindset as well? Absolutely, because Japan is you're taught it's about the group. 15,000%. 15,000%. Is the stream staying up? It'll be going up on Patreon. When it's done, I'll be uploading it to Patreon. Anyway, yeah, I think this is a fair drink price. I mean, that's a fair ticket price. We're back.
And drink minimum. I was there just over 3 hours. I averaged roughly a small drink an hour. By the end of the night, I'd spent around $80 to $85 all in. And yes, being European, that stings. But here's where curiosity kicks in. If roughly 240 people spend around that amount,
Interesting. She has a British accent, called herself European. Is there hope? All right, let me leave international politics out of this stream.
Club runs 240 people, spend around that amount. If the club runs 2 shows a night, if it's open 7 days a week, what does that actually mean? So
that's assuming that they're getting 240 people a night, but I hear you.
Started scribbling numbers, and this isn't a balance sheet, it's just a lens. Blue Note's own website lists that the venue is around 4,300 square feet in total, a 2,500 square foot main floor with bar and stage, plus an upper level with the kitchen, bathrooms, dressing rooms, and additional usable space. Cabaret seating for 246 guests. So let's talk very simply. At full capacity, 246 people paying $35 for a ticket brings in about $7,000 before anyone orders a drink. Then there's food and drink. The minimum is $20, but realistically, most people spend more, especially if they're there for a full set in a seated table service room. On my night, I landed closer to $45 or $50 on drinks alone. So if we assume a conservative average of around $80 per person, all in, that puts a sold-out show at roughly $20,000 in gross revenue. 2 shows a night, call it $40,000 on a very good evening. On paper, that looks extraordinary, but economics only get interesting when you ask where it goes. New York staff aren't cheap, and they shouldn't be.
You jumping the gun, Brad. What's up, Brad? she's getting to that. She's getting to that. You're too quick. You can tell she's about to get to it. let her talk. Let her talk.
On a where it goes. New York staff aren't cheap, and they shouldn't be. On a typical night, you've got servers, bartenders, kitchen staff, managers, security, around 20 people working, even with tipped wages. Once you factor in payroll taxes and minimums, several venue owners told me you're easily looking at $4,000 to $5,000 a night in labor. Then there's rent.
Yeah, let her cook, Brad. Hold on.
We don't know the Blue Note's lease. It isn't public, but we do know it's a 4,300 square foot hospitality venue in Greenwich Village. Current Village restaurant and Knifelight rents sit in the hundreds of dollars per square foot per year. Depending on the deal, that puts monthly rent somewhere in the high 5 figures, potentially well into 6. Averaged out, that's roughly $3,000 to $5,000 a night just to exist in that building. Then there's production, the sound engineer, lighting, stage management, piano tuning, because that beautiful grand piano doesn't tune itself. That's another $1,500 to $2,000 per night. And then there are the artists. Some bands take a percentage of the door, others get a flat fee, often somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000. But that fee isn't going to one person. It might be split between 4 or 5 musicians, sometimes a tour manager, sometimes a tech. A good gig can mean a few $100s each. So before food costs, insurance, utilities, credit card fees or taxes, somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 is already committed. One club owner wrote to me and said, the math.
So people are asking, do they tune every night? And I don't know, because I don't play Blue Note that often. Like I've only played there once ever. Yeah, like it depends on who's playing, but like if they're, for example, like live recordings happen at Blue Note all the time, very regularly. And so if they're doing a recording, or if you got somebody like, I don't know, let's see, Chucho Valdez, like when he was like 40, or like, you know, if Elu or who else coming out and they, you know what I'm saying? If they really going in and digging into the piano, like hitting that thing, you know, like you're gonna have to tune it, right? Before them so that they can play, and after they play, because I can guarantee you, you can hit a piano key, a string. You can hit a piano string out of tune. You can whack that thing and it'll go out of tune. Like you can do that. So, you know, so I can bet if there's like a residency, like a week, like if there's like a week at the Blue Note, right? And like, yeah, like RCC, like Chucho hammering the piano. Yeah, if Chucho Valdez, strong arming the piano 7 days a week, you might literally have to tune it every day because you're not gonna have Chucho Valdez play a bad piano. You're not gonna have him play a bad piano, so like you might have to. I don't know. I would have to ask him if that's what he does. When he played Blue Note, I don't know. He's definitely probably too big for Blue Note now, but like. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that, like the piano needs to be in tune for them, and it must be tuned after for the next person to play. Because like 1 week you might have them, and then the next week you have like Bill Charlap, most beautiful, elegant touch on the piano. He's not going bang, but he's not banging the piano. So back to back, come on, man. You got like Elu 1 week, and then the next week is a week of Brad Meldau. Like you dig, like you better tune that thing because there's completely different music that these cats are playing. They have some completely different power, behind their hands. I've seen Snap. That is true, Arson. He does do that, but yeah. I didn't see him do that on the Jazz Cruise though. I've seen players snap strings live on a perfectly tuned piano. Yeah, it happens. Sorry, y'all. I acknowledge all questions, but this is not a Q&A stream, so I'm not gonna answer questions. Tune in Saturday. For real talk. But anyway, I might do a real talk stream on Wednesday. I'm not sure, but. Yeah, let's go.
Is already committed. One club owner wrote to me and said, the math is real, but the cushion isn't. Because yes, on a sold out night, there may be margin left over. But the real tension isn't whether venues make money. They have to. The real question is who carries the risk when the room isn't full. Right now, that risk lands disproportionately on artists. They're expected to fill the seats, promote the show, and absorb the loss if they don't. While the venue's biggest variable is bar sales, and that isn't a moral failure. It is a system design choice. And some musicians are asking whether we can design it better. Jesse Whiteley, a musician from Toronto, put it simply, I wish there were more shared risk and reward between venues and artists. The best balance I've seen is a guarantee plus tips. It keeps faith. That isn't romanticism. That's economic innovation. So was the night worth it? For me, yes. $85 brought me world-class musicians a few meters away, perfect sound, and an audience that knew when to be silent and when to erupt. Watching James Francey's hands fly across the keys up close.
That's another cat. You got to tune the piano after he played. James can play some piano, bro. He gonna get in there. Be careful. He is not gonna hold back on them keys, bro. He is not gonna hold back on them keys. I love James, man. I haven't seen him in ages, man. Just really, really incredible. One of the most brilliant piano players of all time. Really awesome player. What's up, Noah? Good to see you, bro. Oh, I gotta hit you up. There's something I want to hit you up for.
Felt priceless, but not everyone sees it that way. Some people wrote that $85 is no more than a night at the movies where they live. Others said the problem isn't ticket prices, it's purchasing power. One New Yorker put it bluntly, the Blue Note is as much a tourist destination as a jazz venue. And
yep. She said it. That's, yeah. I mean, it's the name. There's Blue Notes all over the world. Like, it's a tourist destination. It absolutely is that.
And that raises a harder question. Does this model turn jazz into a luxury product?
Weren't we just talking about this last month? You guys remember this? We were just talking about this. Not even last month. It was like a month and a half ago. Back in November. It's a stream bot. It's almost. We were just talking about this. I literally just said this. It's so important to understand that jazz right now, the place that jazz is in right now is that it's a music for the affluent, for the well off. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, y'all. We just talked about this. And how the reason why I'm doing these streams for free online is because, you know, we gotta try to find a way to make this stuff accessible for people. Some kind of way. Not all of my educational content is free. Like, I still put the stream VODs up later, like on Patreon, but that's just to help me continue to be able to be in this house to do this stuff for you. That's it. But man, it's crazy. It's crazy the way jazz is right now. But that's what happens. It makes sense. Like, I'm not surprised. Jazz is a museum music now because it's not anything that's not popular is an option. And what I mean is like is optional is what I mean by that. Any type of music or anything, like, as soon as it stops being popular, it's not Renaissance. Right? I'm sure I'm using the word Renaissance wrong. Like, there's probably I'm using it colloquially. You know, like, I'm probably using that word wrong. I don't know. I can look it up. No, okay. So it's basically, yeah. No, I was correct. Okay, but I was open to being wrong on that. So yeah, anytime there's like a concerted effort to bring back something that's not popular, it's Renaissance. So the thing that you have to accept as a jazz musician is that this music will never be popular again. The way that we see the music, the way that we think about it, the way that we process it, it will never be like that. You're doing it specifically, purely, and only because you love it and it makes you feel good to do it. That should be it, because any other reason is pointless. There's no other reason to do that. You know, like, there's no other reason to do it. Everything that's popular is just like life. It will die. Period. So the fastest way to having a successful career in jazz is to first accept that it's very volatile, and that you're gonna have to talk to a lot of people and get a lot of people on your side. You're gonna have to convince a lot of people to like what you do. Like, that's just the nature of it, you know. Like, you're choosing the difficult route on purpose. It makes you feel something. It makes you feel connected to something timeless, right? Because you realize that, like, yo, there's something more in this language that hasn't been explored. It's like, it literally is like Smash Melee. It's exactly that. Like, those of y'all who play Super Smash Brothers Melee or Project M, but specifically Melee, that game came out in 2001. That's a 25-year-old game. Why are people still playing it? Because they still feel like there's more to be explored. Why are we still playing GOAT format Yu-Gi-Oh? I know I do. Why are we still doing that? Because we feel like, because a brand new deck last year, 20 years after the heyday of GOAT format, a new deck, a brand new type of deck just won a tournament last year. I think it was two of them. One was Panda Burn, and the other one was a different type of a Jirai Gumo toolbox. Well, like, that's a 20-year-old card format. They don't have to be doing that. So why do we do this? Like, why do we do this? Like, we're doing this just because we love it. And because because the masses, right? Like, think about it. And this is going to be really important for everybody to understand. And hopefully this can give you some hope. Hopefully this can give you, like, some reassurance about what you're doing and make you feel better about what you're doing to pursue jazz. Because it's just not because this specific thing will make you feel better, but more like understanding this can help you calm yourself down about it. You know, things that buzz can only buzz for so long, right? Like, a bee can only buzz for a certain amount of time until it dies, right? And once that thing dies, another bee is going to come in its place, and that's going to be the thing that captures attention. So, you know, like, if a firework goes off in the sky, you know, everyone's going to look at that firework and it's going to blow up and it's going to have all these lights that come up, and then it's going to go away. Then another one's going to come up. Right? Like, that's just what happens. And in that time, the news, like, writers and magazine writers, they're going to catch whatever is the new thing, they're going to go to it. But what happens to that thing? We only saw the flash. Most people only see the surface. And I can guarantee you that back in the 1930s and 40s, even though jazz was the popular music, well, not even, it really wasn't the popular music. It was swing that was the popular music. Jazz wasn't, because jazz was like what came out of New Orleans and Chicago. But even bebop, right? That wasn't even a popular music. All the music that was coming out back then, I can guarantee you, just because it was the main language, that doesn't mean people were deep on it. Most people during the time, most likely, I wasn't there, I can't say, but most of those people most likely were only engaging with the music on a surface level. All of us nowadays watching this channel, all 9,400 people, whatever, 100 people that are watching this stream right now, we all collectively know more than most people did in the 1930s or 40s about their own music. I can say that with 95% confidence. That if we go back and even some of the cats that we think were like piping, killing. I had this conversation with somebody like 10 years ago. Like somebody, I forgot who it was, but we can, most of the, I can take anybody from my stream, like 17-year-old players, and it would smoke most of the bebop cats that were just coming into Minton's back in 1947. I'm so serious. I know it seems weird, but it's real. We are so much deeper into this than they were. But why? It's like a 90-year-old music or something, 80-year-old music. Why? It's because we can look at it from a distance now. So we can examine stuff in our own pace in a way that they couldn't do, because they were fighting against they had to learn things at a different rate in a different way than we did, because they were chasing the trend. Just like people chasing TikTok right now, chasing TikTok trends. So, but after that era, why are people still playing bebop? Bebop has not been a buzz in the sphere of anything for at least 70 years. Even during the bebop era, people didn't want to listen to it. So it's why do we do it? It's because we love it. So something to think about when it comes to jazz and the idea of it being popular and things coming back and money. This is not a music that you get into for that. This is a music you get into because, you find some meaning into it. And it should be a good lesson that not everything you do should be for money. Like hip hop now? Hip hop is the main genre now? No, I don't think so. Hip hop is not the main genre. Used to be. It never really was, though. Music from the 80s and the 90s, was in a really interesting space, because a lot of things were that was the first time we started seeing, the genres of pop kind of fuse together. People were, kind of mixing a bunch of different elements together to create new types of music. It's really interesting. Because, back in the 60s and 70s, you had, all the different types of pop, music that were popular were very distinct, identifiable forms of music, right? Stuff that came out of Motown. Yeah, folk, or whatever you call it. Rock and roll music, blues music, funk music. It was all kind of different. But it was all popular. As soon as you get to the 80s and the 90s, suddenly, it's starting to mix together. Pop becomes a genre now. That wasn't a genre. Pop was not a genre before the 80s. It was people like Michael Jackson and Prince, right, that really kind of helped that gain traction as a thing. Because the music was the music that these people were making was so dense with mixing that you couldn't really call it, one thing anymore. So pop became just, it makes the most sense. Yeah, GXF, that is something he said.
And if it does, who gets left out? And this is where I had to pause, because maybe live music isn't dying at all. Jonathan Prodholm wrote, "Live music is more diffused than ever. What's collapsing isn't music, it's the monoculture."
Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand this statement? Because it's a very poignant statement to make. All right, live music is more diffused than ever. right? There's a lot of live music happening right now. Right? A lot of live music everywhere. And it's a lot of different types of live music happening in a lot of different places, in a lot of different venues. But but like this idea of the monoculture. I wonder, before I say anything, let me not say anything. Before I say anything, because I have a habit of doing that. Before I say anything, let's see if she expands on this a little bit, because it's a very important thing. It's a very important observation. And I like that this observation is being made, because it's something that I talked about on my birthday stream. And it's something that I talked about in the video that I just made, right? That I put up. And the internet and algorithms are the reason for that. But again, let me see if she talks about
it. Maybe what we miss isn't affordability, it's predictability. And this is where the Blue Note quietly gets something right.
Okay, she doesn't really say it, or maybe, I don't know. She doesn't really say it, but I'll explain a little bit. Yeah, the monoculture, right? Where there's like a singular, like popular, identifiable social understanding of what something is. Right? And an acceptance of what something is. A social acceptance of what something is. Where even if individually you don't have the same ratios of interest and desire and affinity for something, you know what the general idea of it is. Right? An example of like an isolated monocultural idea within jazz is the idea of Kenny G sucks. Which I don't want to say because it's not true. He's awesome. But that's the general thing that jazz musicians, that straight ahead jazz musicians, like, it's like it sucks that like I have to use this as an example, but that's like the first thing I could come to. No matter where you come from, you can play free music or pop music. If you play anywhere near a jazz idiom, whether you agree with it or not, the idea of making fun of Kenny G. That's an example of like a monocultural like thought, right? Like this is this one thing, right? Like but the thing about the reason why the collapse is happening of these things is because we're spending more time, Look at my recommended. Frieza versus 20 Saiyans. I was going to say, we're spending so much time here in the recommended section. But anyway. Hold on, let me save to watch later. Ooh, I like this one. Subtle Clues to give away AI music. That's nice. I save a lot of stuff to my React playlist because I want to watch it on stream. Gen Z's aging epidemic. Interesting. But yeah, so the fact that we spend so much time in the recommended section and we spend so much time like talking with our algorithms instead of talking to people in culture, like in real life culture, the more we do that and the less we engage with this supposed monoculture that we talk about, that we have, then the harder it is for us to actually come together on any of this stuff, to actually support these systems that we want to keep alive. It's going to be harder to do that because we're not going to agree on what systems we should even keep alive in the first place. Algorithms are a divide and conquer tactic. It's actually amazing how well it worked under our eyes and we didn't even know it. Like, actually crazy. Actually crazy. It's the most, like, if you want to divide and conquer a nation, just give them an algorithm, a personalized algorithm. It's actually, it's amazing how well it works. You kidding me? It's great. It worked for jazz. Look what it's doing. Look what it did. Look what it's doing to us now. Like, how many people are having such a hard time learning this common language? It's not common anymore because everyone has their own personal recommendations. You tell somebody to listen to somebody. See, back in it, here's a common thing. You know what? Let me just say this right now. There's a common issue that ends up happening a lot with today's students. And it's not their fault at all. I hate that this is happening because we don't have a communal, like, third jazz space anymore, right? We don't have a third space for jazz anymore, really. The thing that's happening is that a student will come up to me, or even in my communities, my Discord, Instagram, YouTube comments, wherever, and they'll get some advice from a teacher or old head that is actually what they used to say to me. It's true. We all at some point, my age or older, used to get this advice, which is if someone's like, oh, like you gotta listen more, man. Go listen to Charlie Parker. You gotta go listen to Bird. Or like, go check out some more such and such. Like, oh, like I want to get a sound. Like, oh, go check out some Johnny Hodges. Go check out whatever. So what will a kid do? They're not gonna go to the record store. They're gonna go on YouTube. Now, why is this an issue? The reason why this is an issue is because what do you think? Do you know how record companies work? So not record companies, record stores. See, most of y'all who are in the comment section right now probably never been to a record store before. And when I say record store, I'm using that as a colloquial. I don't mean literal vinyl shop, because there's plenty of those like that are like, you know, hipster kind of Brooklyn record type shops. I'm talking about like a place you buy physical music. So it could have been a place that had vinyl and it has cassettes, CDs, whatever kind of media. If you go to a place that sells CDs in 2005, 2006, like when I was going, if you went into the shop to buy something, if you went to 10 stores within like a 50-mile radius and you look for Charlie Parker, I can guarantee you all 10 of those stores will have at least one of the same record. At least. That's what's crazy. And y'all don't know that. All of them will have at least one or two of the same record. Why? Because that record's selling a lot. So they keep it in stock. And they get more. They will literally get more copies of that record or whatever. It's like to sell. That's how it works. That's not how YouTube is working. YouTube is only what you get when you type in something is going to be tailored to your recommendations. If you haven't had anything related to that at all, it's just going to show what the most popular videos are. Or it'll show you the most popular videos based on your watching history, based on your click history. It's all based on you. It's not based on the community. It's based on you. The collective that everyone clicks on, and then it tailors to you. So if you're typing in something because your teacher told you to look something up, you're probably not going to get the thing that we all used to listen to. You're going to get the thing that everyone is clicking on. That's not the same thing. And that's kind of the issue. That's one of the biggest issues that sucks. And like, you know, it's hard to remedy this issue in the modern day because we're already so far gone. We're already so far gone. You know, like, so a lot. And the biggest issue I have with this is that this is what we wanted. This is what people in my generation and younger Gen Xers, like all of us hipsters, this is the world we talked about. We didn't know it was going to be like this, but like the whole decentralization of music, the decentralization of, you know, the recording power and distribution power. We wanted it to be in our hands. This is the byproduct that no one thought of. No one thought of the fact that education was going to suffer as a result of that. They didn't think that, which is because everybody was only thinking about, understandably, how am I going to survive? How are we going to like ensure that we continue to make stuff, not continue to teach stuff, which is where I'm trying to come in. Because I noticed, like, in my pursuit of trying to make stuff, the younger people that are coming up, I'm like, dang, they don't know any of the same stuff I did. But I knew all the same stuff that my 40-year-old, like, if I was like 16 and I had a 40-year-old teacher, I knew all the same stuff they knew. But I can be 33 and there's like a 25-year-old that doesn't know all the same stuff that I do. That's crazy. They're not even that much younger than me. And one of the reasons is because of this. This is like actually the main reason for that. So it's like really crazy. It's really crazy that it's happening. I think it's something that we should talk about, and we don't really talk about this enough. Personally, I don't think we talk about this enough. But that's one of the reasons why I'm such a huge proponent on talking about communal listening, like understanding the language. Like understanding, how do you understand a language? You don't learn through Duolingo. You don't learn through Duolingo. You learn how stuff works through Duolingo. You don't learn how people speak through Duolingo. You don't learn through Rosetta Stone. Even nobody uses Rosetta Stone anymore, Pimsleur. But, you know, you don't learn through that. You learn the ropes. You learn the technicalities from that. You learn how to speak by, just like how I learned, man, my Japanese did not, I can speak Japanese now specifically because I live there. Because I learned the street. Like, I was out there on the street. It was in a bar. I was in the clubs. In business situations. I was like learning that, like, oh, I get it. Like, I'm learning the tricks of it. I'm in there. Not, like the reason why I took like 2.5 years of just 2 years. I took 2 years of Japanese class, and the first time I touched down in Japan, I was freezing up. I couldn't speak a word, even though I took 2 years of class. That was more than enough to be able to say stuff, and I couldn't do it. It wasn't until I lived there and got comfortable, like, okay, because I got all these words in my head, but how are you supposed to know the types of things people like to say? It's not about plug and play situations. That's why so many of y'all can play 2-5-1 licks but still don't sound good. Because you don't know when it's appropriate to play every lick. You just know what works. You don't know what feels good yet. You don't know. That's the thing I talked about in my latest video, right? So until I was able to get in there and really learn the tricks of the trade, like what's going on in there, like culturally, that's when I started to realize, like, oh wow, there's like a lot of stuff I don't know communally that I gotta get with. There's a language in this country, in this culture that I gotta dig with. I gotta dig into. So, yeah, Do you like the thing that Bruce Harris is doing on the channel, checking recordings? Yeah, I actually haven't watched those videos yet, but I've only seen clips that he posted. But maybe we should react. Maybe we should react to one on here, and check it out. But yeah, because I like that. I need to wonder how he's able to do. Is he getting? I gotta talk to him. Is he getting funding from the Jazz Museum? Not Jazz Museum, but from the Louis Armstrong Museum to do that? Because there's no way he's getting like ad revenue. Because I wonder how he's making money with that, if anything. Because like if he's just doing it as a charity work, that's amazing. I would love that. But I have a feeling that it's probably not what's happening. I don't know how he's getting paid for that, because the reason why I'm asking that is because the reason I don't do stuff like that, I wanted to do that. I've been wanting to do that for the past 5 years. The reason I haven't done that is because every time if I even so much as mention 3 seconds of Blue Train, remember on that video, like I can't talk about music without it getting copyright claimed, and then like my video gets blocked in certain countries, and I don't want that happening. So yeah, that's like a series I would have to do as a paid thing, and that's against what I want to do. I don't want to make paid series. Like I have a spoiler alert. I plan on making an educational course this year, like a real talk educational course, where like I go through no BS, like all up, like trying to do intermediate and advanced and expert level jazz courses. That's one of the things I want to try. I'm gonna contact some people to see how I can get stuff published. Like this will be the year that I finally do that. Because we need stuff from a different perspective right now. But that's the only time I want to make money from doing stuff like this. So that's why I haven't done that recording thing. But when I make because I noticed that, man, like, wait a minute, I can only talk about recordings. I can't really put them up. It's kind of wild. So, hey, hold on real quick. Yo, Steph, I'm on stream. What? Why? I had a gig. Hey, you want to say hi to? Hey, you want to say hi to the stream? See if they can hear you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, yo, yeah, you're on speaker. That's so it's up Steph on chat.
What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? yeah, man. I just played a gig in New York, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm only here for the night.
Are you only here for the night? Are you serious?
Yeah, flying in and going right back out.
Bro, what the heck? Ain't no way.
And I'm coming back up, right? At the end of the month.
Yeah, I gotta buy your ticket. That's why I'm.
We're not playing or anything, are we?
No, that's one of the reasons why I was like, man, I gotta talk to you about that. I'm making up because I'm trying to make some money, to be able to. I can't talk about this stuff on stream because this is.
Mute that.
Yeah, I can't mute it. I can't. It's already on stream. But,
we'll talk.
Yeah, I can't talk about stuff. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Who you playing with?
Just my guys from Savannah. We're up here just doing like a cabaret show kind of thing.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Where?
At this like hidden club. It's like some lady's name. It's at the bottom of a restaurant.
Hidden club. Some lady's name. Chat, investigate. Is a club. Some lady's name at the bottom of it. Laurie Beachman.
Yeah, I don't know what yeah, don't But yeah, man, it's good to talk to you. Chat, you're amazing. And I'll let you go, brother. Do your thing.
Yeah, thanks, bro. All right, man. Yeah, I'll talk to you. Yeah, we will. Maybe after stream. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Peace. Sorry, y'all. I was gonna like ignore this call because I saw it coming through and I was like, it's Stefan. We can talk on stream. You know, forget it. It's okay. This was like a hidden area in a video game where you talk to the NPC and it give you vague instructions. Yeah. With the all the text is white, but then like the clues are like highlighted red or blue or something, like, or yellow. It's like, yeah, I'm in this club. It's like some lady's name, and that's all in yellow. And then there's something. It's like clear, an obvious hint that you have to think about. But anyway, yeah. Also, Bang is me. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Secret club, some lady's name near a restaurant. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Let's finish this video out. You guys heard what I was saying already.
It doesn't just sell artists. It sells the experience of being there. On the night I went, the room was full. Students, tourists, couples in their 20s, people in their 80s. They weren't all there for one name. They were there for the room. And that matters because so many venues can't survive by asking artists alone to pull crowds, especially in genres where online followers don't automatically become ticket buyers.
See, funny enough, like, just real quick, I did want to, like, touching back on the idea of why Japan doesn't pay. This is another reason why it's like that. There's so many, guys, there are so many jazz clubs in Japan. Like, I think there's more jazz clubs and live music venues per block, per like square foot radius, a square mile, per square mile, whatever. I don't know. There's more live music houses per square mile in the entire country of Japan, which is like only the size of the East Coast of the United States, by the way, than I think in the entirety of the United States. Not in the entirety, but more per square inch than the United States, or per square mile. Not total amount of music houses, but bro, it's crazy. And I mean, because of the way Japan's stacked, you have to understand this too. In America, a lot of live houses are just one building or one place, right? New York is like really the only place where it's going to be like stacked like that. But all of Japan, except for the countryside, where there's not going to be any venues anyway, maybe like one, right? And you specifically play there on tour because you're an American and you're doing like a country tour with the artist of choice. All my people, all my American, my Japan touring American musicians know what I'm talking about. But yeah, because of the way Japan is stacked, like Tokyo, Osaka, even Kyoto, I mean Sendai, Niigata, even Kanazawa. I mean, any of the, like, so many cities, they're all stacked, even within those cities. And so you can have multiple clubs in the same building. I'm not even kidding you. I've seen a building where there's 3 jazz clubs in one. I forgot where I was when I saw that, but I was blown away by that. But like, there's so many different venues, and the funny thing is that none of them are competing with each other. They don't really have to. Why? Because in Japan, there is something called a chargeback system. Yes. There's these little clubs that have like 15 to 20 people or 25 people capacity max. Seriously, there's a lot of places like this. And I'm not talking, like, people think of Japan, they think of Blue Note Tokyo, Cotton Club, or, like, you know, or even Intro, Jazz by Intro, you know, whatever. But it's not really a venue. People don't play gigs there, really. I mean, I guess they do to host a session or something. But like, most of these jazz clubs have like 15 to 20 people max. And usually there's a chargeback system, basically meaning you have to pay to play, or like there's a certain amount of money you have to reach in ticket sales before they pay you anything. Otherwise, you have to pay the club. Most venues have that system. And the only time it's not is if like you're a really big artist or the club is really big or, you know, like stuff like that. That's really the only time it's not going to have that. So even though there's so many different artists, like, man, Japan basically just like, yeah, we're not going to deal with this. Y'all going to deal with it. Y'all want to play. It's funny how like we're raised in America as musicians, like going through school and everything, to think that the venues are lucky to have us. That's what we think. We think the venues are lucky to have us. Japan says, know your place. You're grateful to play here. It's like, it's really wild. It's really wild, but it's true. It's just how it is in Japan. So anybody wondering about that's yeah, like you don't go to Japan to pursue a career in live music. You just don't do that. If you want to pursue a career in music in Japan, you got to go corporate. You got to go pop. You got to go recording. Teaching. It's not playing jazz live. That doesn't happen like that. It just doesn't. Sorry, I just wanted to talk about that for a second because it's funny. But yeah.
At the other end of the spectrum, the contrast is stark. One former jazz club owner in the Netherlands told me, the business model is non-existent. I had to stop. Meanwhile, in New Mexico, Ken Gilman turned
That's why Japan did that. For that reason.
His living room into a 50-seat venue. Donations, home-cooked meals, a spare room for the artist.
Who did that?
To stop. Meanwhile, in New Mexico, Ken Gilman turned his living room into a 50-seat venue. Donations, home-cooked meals, a spare room for the artist. It works, he said. No overhead, just community. Two ends of the same ecosystem, collapse and reinvention. So zooming out, even in the best case scenario, a place like the Blue Note may only exist because tourism, volume and reputation intersect just right. It might be one of the rare rooms where live music is still financially viable in New York City. And that's the uncomfortable truth, because every message I received echoed the same thing. Visibility doesn't equal viability. Packed rooms don't guarantee sustainable careers. Prestige doesn't pay rent. Live music survives not on margins, but on shared belief. Tourists believing the night is worth it. Communities believing the room matters. And musicians believing the risk is worth taking. The Blue Note survives on tourism. Ken's living room survives on kindness. Both rely on people who still believe that sound in a shared space is worth something. And maybe that's the real economics of jazz. Not profit, but participation. I would be really honored.
Nice script. That was good. The delivery was good. But yeah, y'all know the vibe. She said it. She basically said it. Great video. I'm glad we're getting like a lot of good videos and not a lot of nonsense these days. What's happening? What's wrong with you guys? You guys okay? You guys cool? What's happening? Anyway, react suggestions. Wait, Arson, what the heck? I just saw what you posted. The Blue Note, the discount Blue Note. Ain't no way. This is crazy. What the heck? Inside the world of jazz addiction. Huh? Hey, yo. What? We should watch Frieza versus 20 Saiyans. Yeah, we should watch that. That actually would be great, wouldn't it? Guys, my own live stream is being recommended to me right now. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm very curious. I kind of don't want to watch this whole thing, but let's see. Let's see what they're talking about. It's a very interesting thought, though.
Jazz, freedom, improvisation. A raw, unfiltered burst of human life, carved out of joy, pain, hunger.
What's this music? Oh, it's just some random stuff I don't know.
And fire. A language without rules. A sound born from surviving what should have broken you. But behind the brilliance, something else was playing. A darker rhythm, a shadow, heroin. A drug that seduced creativity.
Okay, it is. Okay, it is drugs. Okay. All right, that's. I mean, that's. All right, that's not as interesting as I thought it was gonna be. I'm not saying the video's bad. It's just that I don't know if I want to spend my time watching it because it's stuff that like we should already know. Let me see, like, yeah, it's so we should already know. I'm sure it's probably cool. Yeah, no, Arson. That's what I thought too. That's why I was like. Oh snap! Interesting psychology. Yeah, jazz. Like, let's talk about this. Talk about jazz. Maybe I can make the jazz addiction video. But I'm sure this video's cool. Fine Futures. I'm sure, like, you know, I'm sure you put a lot of work into this. So no, I'm not trying to flame you at all. Just I'm gonna skip it for today. If you guys want to watch in your own time, it's in the Discord, linked. So. This intro is very poetic, yeah. GXF, what is jazzers do this one thing for great tone? Okay, let's what are you talking about? What are you talking about here? Oh, I saw this. Somebody sent me this. But okay, but for I mean, this is one way to build your core. If you want a core strengthen. Have you guys seen this before? I would never do this in a million years. Ever. Never would I ever put this much weight on my neck, because there's no way that's on his upper back, like where it's supposed to be. That's probably on his neck, unless he got like the widest traps of all time. Bro, that joint was on his traps. What? Are those real 45s? I mean, them things kind of bounce like 45s.
Whew. That one got a little tricky.
Yeah, no, look at that. How did? No, Arson, that ain't 50 on the east side. Those 245s, brother. That's 180 plus the bar. So, yeah, look at that. Yeah, 225. 180 plus the bar, 45. That's 225. That boy squatting 225 reps with a saxophone. Well, that's what I'm thinking, Lion. But then again, you know what part of me is thinking, though? You know what I mean? Part of me is thinking, Lion? If they're fake, they gotta be at least half weight. Like, because something light wouldn't stay in place like that. Like something this light, it would easily like bounce or move or fall. Like something this heavy the weight is pushing down, so it has to stay in place. That's why I'm just like, bro. Hey, but you wouldn't catch me doing this. Ain't no way. Shoot, I have a hard enough time doing Smith squats, bro. Like, no hands with my what? Crazy. That's what I'm saying, Arson. Yeah, exactly. But what the heck? Oh, I've seen this. Who's gonna transcribe this transcription? Gym humor? Okay. Love we keep coming back to Oscar Peterson's face. Everything is Oscar Peterson. Just for Arson. When the biggest dudes in the gym swear they smaller than you. I already know where this is going.
Let me know something.
No, I didn't know where it was going. What is this? What couldn't you get an actual big dude? What is this?
How you get like that? How you get like that, man?
Hey, what's up with the voice?
Nah, you're tough. You're really tough, bro. I've been trying to get like you since I was born, bro. Like, for real. Like, how do you get your muscles like that, bro? Like, come on, bro. I'm really trying to, bro. Like, for real. Like, I need to get muscles like you, bro. Like, I'm skinny. Like, I'm skinny, bro. I got nothing else, bro.
I got nothing else.
Let me know something, how you get like that? How you get like that, bro? You really not. You're tough. You're really tough, bro. I've been trying to get like you since I was born, bro. Like, for real. Like, how do you get your muscles like that, bro?
I hear your muscle. I hear your muscle. The voice crack and the voice changer is killing me. Exactly. Yes, missing. You get it. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Oh, that's hilarious. Yo, Shostakovich Symphony 5? That's pretty cool. Okay, I gotta scroll past all of the Spain clips. Ooh, music. Ooh, we about to get inflammatory. Guys, we're about to get straight problematic. You guys ready for this? Music college is lying to you about jazz. Just some thoughts on the modern college music experience and the problems with how they present jazz to students. Oh, we about to get juicy. All right. Let's go.
I kind of feel like music college is not honest with music students about the role that jazz plays in the music world.
You know who you're talking to? A self.
Bro. What do you, there has to be a word for this. Is there a word for getting famous like this, but it means nothing? Like, is there a word for, this is like after you've gone, but in reverse. Like, this is the after you've gone effect in like the complete opposite direction. But it didn't even make. But it didn't even like. It didn't even make him an enemy because it became boring. He apologized, and people started taking down videos and stuff. It's like trying to filter itself out of the system. But like people are never gonna forget it. So what is this phenomenon? What is this weird thing that's happening right now? It's just so strange. Because I'm like, yo, nice Nihongo. Lee Melly. Happy New Year to you as well. Akeome, as we say on the streets. Akeome. Before you go. What about before I let go? Before I let go. Nihongo. Let me just hope that this is only like in passing. Yeah, Arson, I'm glad. I think that unfortunately though, I don't think it would have. Well, no, fortunately, I don't think it would have gotten the same traction if he did say After You've Gone instead of Spain, because that song's like already a thing. So, but yeah, skip forward a few seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's good.
Taught fucking legend.
Back in music school, I feel like there was this.
All right, we're good. We're good.
You know who you're talking to? A self-taught fucking legend.
Back in music school, I feel like there was this vibe in the air of like it's really, really, really important that you learn all the tunes, all the standards in the real book, you know, because somebody might call it when you're on the gig, and if you don't know it, then I don't know what, you're gonna look like an idiot, and nobody will call you for any gigs. You've got to be able to play this style from 100 years ago authentically, and if you can't, then you're not gonna make it out there in the job market. And none of that is true. It's really, really just not true. That's not what's happening out there in the professional music world. And there's things that are happening.
Hey, I'm gonna say it like it is right now. It's a lot of people in the professional world, they can't play no tunes. I'm saying right now, I'm one of them. I'm one of them people that can't play. Ask me to play an Art Blakey tune. Good luck. Oh well. Looks like I'm gonna lose all my gigs now. But wait.
That's not what's happening out there in the professional music world. And there's things that are happening out there that I feel like music schools are not doing a good job at informing students about and adequately preparing them for. I was a little older when I was back in music college finishing my degree, so I wasn't quite as susceptible to these things maybe as the other kids, because I was already out there teaching and gigging. But I saw a lot of my peers who were fresh out of high school and didn't know any better get more wrapped up in studying jazz than is useful. Now, if you just love it, that's fine, forget everything I'm saying, but a lot of people go to music school and follow that path and study all that stuff and kind of become that because they think that they have to, and nobody's telling them that you actually kind of hit like diminishing returns the further you go down that path. Like, it's important to know a little bit about jazz. Like, you should be able to have a jazzy feel in your harmony and in your
It was going so well, bruh. Should I keep watching it? Should I push through the pain? Should I hide the pain, Harold? Oh, it sucks because I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, this guy, he has some good stuff, you know? Like, you know what? Maybe he gets a pass, you know? That's a good. You know what? I like lion's sake. You know what? That's right. You know what? Warning shot. He said, push through, but don't give any second chances. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep watching. No, GX. Yeah, LeBron was really doing some great basketball-y things. No, that is. Lord, have mercy. Oh wait, Eliz, you're right. Or Eli, sorry, not Eliz. Eli, I think you're right. That was 2 strikes. Okay.
Little bit about jazz. Like, you should be able to have a jazzy feel in your harmony and in your rhythm in such.
Bro, I'm sorry, but what does it mean to have a jazzy feel in your heart? Like, a jazzy feel. What does that mean? To have a jazzy feel in your harmony, in your rhythm? Guys, please. It's like it's 2020 all over again. I'm back on Twitter. Stop saying jazzy. Hashtag. 6 years later. I love y'all, but please stop saying jazzy.
Situations where it's appropriate. But if you're like hyper concerned with being able to do every crazy harmonic thing you could possibly do over a dominant chord and stuff like that, I promise you it's diminishing returns.
Technically, wouldn't that be a major return? Because if you play a bunch of stuff over a dominant chord, it returns to the major, not the diminished. Sorry. Bro, let's try that again. It's crazy. Sometimes it returns to the monitor. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Tonic returns. That's gonna be my new guys. My new jazzy. My new jazzy album. I'm gonna release a new jazzy album. It won't be jazz. My new jazzy album will be called Diminished Returns. Or maybe my new jazzy album will be called Tonic Returns. And it's all sonic music in a major key. And first track is Tonic the Hedgehog. All right, I'm done. Bro, whose fanfic OC is Tonic the Hedgehog, dude? Who's fanfic OC? We got Tonic the Hedgehog out here, dude.
Now, I'm not saying music college shouldn't teach jazz. It should definitely teach jazz.
Yo, new Discord name. I gotta back up.
Over a dominant chord and stuff like that. I promise you it's diminishing returns. Now, I'm not saying music college...
There's no way he didn't mean to say that, right? There's no way he didn't mean to say that. The way he said it in the zoom in.
That... I promise you it's diminishing returns. Now, I'm not saying music college shouldn't teach jazz. It should definitely teach jazz. I'm just saying it's diminishing returns. When you go to school to study an art form, one of the jobs of the school is to train you in the highest expressions of that art form. And so that's what music school is doing with jazz. There's a reason we study jazz and we don't study what's on top.
So I can't take this seriously because the chat. There's a Sonic character from a comic named Tonic. Bro, we got Music Theory Hedgehog OCs. Please. Please.
The school is to train you in the highest expressions of that art form. And so that's what music school is doing with jazz. There's a reason we study jazz.
Guys, stop! I need to stop looking at chat. Stop it! Tonic the Shed Hog, dude. I'm turning off chat. I'm not looking at y'all. I'm not looking at y'all for the next minute. I need to watch this.
That art.
I can't do this.
One of the jobs of the school is to train you in the highest expressions of that art form. And so that's what music school is doing with jazz. There's a reason we study jazz and we don't study what's on Top 40 radio. Jazz is harmonically rich and complicated, and you gotta be able to improvise.
I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm deliberately not looking at chat, and all I can think of is Tonic the Shed Hog right now. He has a saxophone in his hand and he can't stop practicing. Wait. We found him. Gotta play fast. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tonic the Shed Hog is here. Huh? Jeff Boswell? What are you talking about, a Jeff Boswell? Where you see Jeff? Oh, that's probably a name of a person who made the cover. Bro, Tonic the Shed Hog, bro. Is this Condis? That looks like Agent. I guess it's not, but it just looks like him. Yeah, I see it, but bro, Tonic the Shed Hog, bro. I'm so freaking like, Knuckles a keys player? You don't think he's a drummer? Yo, Tails with the real saxophone. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I think I got it out of my system now. Let's go back and actually watch this, please.
That's what music school is doing with jazz. There's a reason we study jazz and we don't study what's on Top 40 radio. Jazz is harmonically rich and complicated, and you gotta be able to improvise, and it takes more to be able to play it than pop music. That's great. So let's keep studying the greats and transcribing solos and all that stuff. All good. But
this is one of the reasons I had an issue, like, if I'm gonna be serious for a second, this is why I had an issue with him using the word jazzy, is because, like, saying that jazz, quote unquote, takes more to play than jazz music. Sorry. Saying that jazz takes more to play than pop music. I don't really like that. I don't like, even if it's like quantitatively true, as in like by like a sheer amount of knowledge required, like amount of quantifiable information required to know. You can make that, but I don't like saying that because it's a non-argument. Like I don't think it's worth mentioning. Like just like I wouldn't nitpick this if he didn't say the word jazzy. I probably would have said something about. I would have just looked at it, and been like, okay, but this is like already giving me like doubts about the thought process that this video is coming from, because I have a problem. For those of y'all who are wondering what's wrong with the word jazzy, the reason I have a problem with the word jazzy is, one, because it's just corny, it's unhip, but two, because it reduces the entire lineage and language of jazz into a qualitative word. Like, it basically blends it down to one thing. We don't call something poppy. That doesn't make any sense. We would never do that. One, the word sounds weird, but also we don't say, hey, make it sound like pop, because you'd have to, like, what do you mean by that? Right? It's like, what, like, there's so many, like, what artists? Do you want it to sound like a Katy Perry thing? Do you want it to sound like a Carly Rae Jepsen thing? Do you want it to sound like a Doja Cat thing? Do you want it to sound like a John Legend thing? Like, there's so much. You wouldn't say, Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X. Like, so in the same way that you wouldn't do that, any self-respecting musician would, like, that plays jazz would never call something jazzy for that reason, because, like, it's the same thing. Like, you're taking one specific idea, this general pop derived, I don't know, idea, caricature of music, characteristic of music that you imagine, and applying that to a quality that you can apply to something to. And somebody talks about the only reason why it works is funky. The word funky predates the music funky by at least 100 years. Look it up. Look at the etymology of the word funky. Okay, way more. Okay, way more than 100. I thought it was like 100 years, but it's actually like more like 150, 200 years. Right? In the late 17th century. And I thought that the colloquial use was from the 18th century. But this is like a dang near 400-year-old word. So this predates Beethoven, guys. The word predates high classical. The word predates Haydn. So it's not music. It's not music. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Well, the reason why funky became funk is because it's a descriptive, cool sounding word. Because there's that song, Funky Blues. Also, think about it, in the 1800s, the late 1800s in New Orleans, there was a place called the Funky Butt Hall that Buddy Bolden used to play at. So the reason why funky works is because the word actually has nothing to do with music. That's why it works. To make something funky just means to make it stank. It means to make it nasty. Like we like to say it, like, man, that's a nasty beat. Funky is just the same thing. To make it funky, like, make your face do this because it stank. That's what a stank face is. So jazzy is not that. Bluesy is not that. You don't say classically. So that's the reason why I'm just like feeling weird a little bit, just because it's like, to even make, I get it's not the point of the video, but to even make a statement like jazz, like, sure, jazz requires more than pop music. I'm like, I can't take every random jazz musician and have them play a pop gig. Especially not drummers. Are you kidding me? Like, drummers, guitarists, keyboardists, bassists, like the backbone of funk music. Like, yeah, I can give some sheet music to some horn players, and then maybe they can read it, and it wouldn't matter that much if they play loud. But rhythm section, the backbone of, like, all pop music in America, they wouldn't be able to handle that. I know, because I tried to. No, let me. Ooh, I was about to say something disrespectful, and I'm on stream. Let's just say that a certain band that I started was very difficult in its early stages, because I was trying to teach certain types of music to jazz musicians who did not listen to the type of music that I was trying to play. So it's I was like trying to beat a dead horse sometimes, but I did my best, and I was patient, and it worked out. Yeah, I don't even like the word Latin music, James. I don't even like that word. I like to call like the specific country or culture. I am not saying anything, Noah. But yeah, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that you can't quantify like a job requirement. Cuz like even if quantitatively you have to know a lot more things before you can like play a jazz gig, those same a lot more things, like if you need to know like 25 different categories of things, whatever, or like types of things before you play a jazz gig, as opposed to only needing to know like maybe 10 to play a pop gig, those like 25 things out of those 25 things you need to know to play a jazz gig, like 3 of them are applicable to a pop gig. So like, just check yourself, because it's not like, oh, here's music, right? And these are all genres, and this is the baseline of all music knowledge. In order to play this music only requires 10 levels, 10 units of knowledge. Jazz requires 25 units of knowledge. Therefore, it is better music. Like, that's not what he's saying, but that's the vibe. The vibe is like, there's no reason to say that.
The other function of school is job training, and I think that a lot of music schools are failing miserably at that. Like, to go to music school as a...
Yeah, see, that's true. That's true. That's why I was like, oh, I'll push through it to see if he's, like, that's why I was like confused when he said jazzy and music quantitative stuff, because I was like, yeah, he's not saying wrong stuff.
Piano major, and nowhere in 4 years is synth or organ or clav or anything like that mentioned. That's really, really not good. Everybody who goes in to study a keyboard instrument should have some kind of basis in the modern family of keyboard instruments. You should know the basics of synthesis.
This is where Yeah, I'll talk about this in a little bit.
You should know some organ. You should know how to play a clav groove. You should be able to take a monophonic synth lead solo on a Moog, because that's what's happening out there. That's what keyboard players are required to do.
See, this is why I don't really want to watch this video anymore. Specifically because, like, I don't want to say where this guy went to school. I wonder if there's a way for me to check, because I have an assumption and I don't want to assume. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I'm just gonna take a wild guess. Okay, maybe he didn't go to Berkeley. But that's just the type of... Okay, University of the Arts. So okay, I know you arts actually. And he got, okay, so he did go to Berkeley. Okay, he did. All right, I knew it. All right, so he did go to Berkeley. This type of thinking is, and again, not to, I'm not trying to crap on Berkeley. I'm just saying it's not about the quality of education. It's about the focus of education. And Berkeley is a more career, like modern career focused music school, which is fine. It makes sense for like, their MO. But the thing, the biggest difference between going to a school like Berkeley versus going to a school like MSM or Juilliard, or to some extent, even New School, to some extent, right? The biggest difference between going to schools like that versus Berkeley versus schools like that is that at Berkeley, you're not really concerned about maintaining or preserving anything, right? It's more about making a career in music in whatever facet it is. The genres are there as like kind of placeholders. Like the genres are there as like, not a placeholder. What's the word I'm trying to say? The genres are like secondary as opposed to primary, right? It's like you go to Berklee's College of Music for career music. What kind of career do you want in music? Jazz, classical, or whatever, pop, singer-songwriter, whatever, right? Those are all like the secondary applications. It's like you want a career in music doing what genre? That's the vibe I get from the school, right? This is not like I read this on the website. This is just what we know about how the education system of Berkeley works. So, but at places like MSM, Juilliard, and the reason why I said New School to an extent is because New School is a little more loose in how they run their philosophy. But with places like MSM and Juilliard, the focus is you come here because you want to be a jazz musician specifically. And then the career part is the secondary part. Now, obviously, it's like that's not the reason why I see where he's coming from is because that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true about a lot of these schools. But that's what their conservatories for. Those schools are not there to help you get a career. They help you to be they're there to help you be a good musician. The connections you get from being at the school are what get you the gigs. But those schools are primarily there to make good players the best players. That's like what it's that's what it's about. So yes, like I know the schools have been changing. Even when I was at MSM, which was 15 years ago at this point, like even when I was there, they had this like Center for Music Entrepreneurship like side class thing that you took as like one. I wish there was more. That should have been a class you took from like junior year instead of senior year. That should have been a 2-year class instead of a 1-year class, in my opinion. But yeah, it was cool. They thought that they had to do that. But the point I'm trying to make is that people who have this type of mindset usually think music is just like music, which is cool. I love that. I'm the type of person that also thinks music is music. However, it's almost like not to bring politics in, but like all lives matter kind of thing. All lives matter does the same, like the all music is music on its own does the same thing that all lives matter does. What it does is it basically ignores or makes unimportant the very specific idiosyncrasies and details and unique identity of specific disciplines in music. That's dangerous to me, because with a music like jazz is so specific as a cult. It's more than just a genre of music that was made by people who want to create something new. It's a whole culture. It's a language that was spoken by people. It's a story of our development as American people. It's a gigantic undertaking, right? Of people trying to create a new culture. But the way people think about jazz now, especially a lot of people who go through Berkeley, who might not even be in the jazz program, just people who like play pop, right? A lot of people end up thinking of jazz as like a style of music. It's just a style to play. But it's not a style. You can't look at jazz the same way you look at, any other like kind of fusion type of music, right? You can't look at it the same way because there are different idiosyncrasies in this music. Just like there are different idiosyncrasies in cultures and languages within all types of music disciplines that are unique. So the difference between somebody like me, or like, I don't want to make assumptions about this guy right here, but the typical person who goes through a program like Berkeley, the difference between me and them is that when I say, the difference between me saying that like, yeah, it's all music, and them saying it's all music, for me, it's all music doesn't mean that it doesn't matter what you do, it's all good. It means the opposite. To me, it means all music is good. Not whatever you do is all good, so play what you want. That's the difference. I'm saying whatever exists in the world is beautiful and I love it. That doesn't give me a right to play it immediately. I think that if I really want to engage with it, I should go in and learn it and get deep into it. But that's because of the way I and a lot of other people were taught in the programs we come from, which is less about appropriation, more about integration and education. It's different. So, exactly, Loretta, you said there's a guy where I live who went on TV and said anything with improvisation is jazz. Yeah, it's like, again, I'm not trying to make assumptions about this person, but I'm saying like the general attitude that I experience with this type of way of thinking comes from that perspective about like all music being music and it's cool, just play what you got to play. You know, like scavenger mindset, right? Like business minded mindset, play what's required, as opposed to this is something deep that I should study, which is what you go to a school like Emerson or Juilliard for, because that's like what you do at these types of places. That's what the schools are made for. So it's not that it's the fault that, you know, they're not teaching them how to play a clav groove. It's like, no, they're not teaching them how to play a clav groove because that's not what you're going to the school for. We're playing jazz. Like, the thing you're talking about is a characteristic of other styles of music that is not traditional jazz. And playing within the jazz tradition means that there's certain, just like you're playing, like, you're not going to go in like, bro, playing bebop over, like, straight, like, I don't know, like, playing bebop over some Smokey Robinson or P-Funk don't sound good. It sounds weird. I mean, to me, it just sounds like it's too much. It's like adding too much seasoning. It's like getting some, like, I don't know, getting like some otoro or something, or some fatty salmon sushi with, like, you know, like salmon and rice, and it's just beautiful and it's perfect. And you're throwing like barbecue sauce and all sorts of seasoning, spicing, and cheese and mayo and stuff on it. You don't need all that. It's too much, right? There's a certain, you have to perfect that how it is. That's the same thing. That's why when I play funk and I'm playing groove music, I don't play bebop. And it irks it like every time I hear somebody take a solo, and I'm gonna just say it right now. When I hear people take a solo and like it's jazz musicians getting called for pop gigs, or like it's like a funk where it's like a regular jazz big band, but then they start to play funk music, I cringe because I knew as soon as the tenor players stand up, I wish I had my horn, but I don't got it. They're gonna play. It's like the beat might be boom, boom, boom. It's like they going in, and saxophone player, and it almost swinging a little bit. So it's like they can't play straight to save their life, and I'm just like, this is how I play, man. You know, like no, like separate. You know, like people who can't say, you know, Watashi wa Patrick Desu. Like, no, just can you try to say it? Just try. Please try. You know what I'm saying? But like people just got their thing and that's all they want to do. That's all they want to do. That's it. It's like jazz musicians are just as guilty of doing that, right? Just as guilty. Yeah, man, I'm a culprit of doing this sometimes. You try not to. Well, that's all it takes is you admitting it and trying not to. You already have more respect from me. There's some people who literally are incapable of even noticing that they do that, and it's crazy. It's so crazy. What's up, Matthias? All genres have a cultural connection and should be treated with respect and reverence than just a checklist of things you need to add to your qualifications. Exactly. But that's not like, you know, that's not the business music school way. The business music school way is learn what you got to do for the job and do the job, which again, it has its merit, but that's a separate thing. I talk about that all the time. I literally just talked about it. Didn't I just talk about that? How, like, you know, don't show up like blowing bebop lines over like a nice funk groove for like some dancers. Your qualification should be play the groove. That's the way we should be teaching things. There's a difference. There's a big difference. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why, like, I was like the way he's saying that, I'm like, I don't think it's necessary to teach a jazz pianist how to use synthesizers. If the issue is about people getting work, then yeah, that's a different thing. But you can't, that's not the jazz argument. Because the reason why I'm saying this right now is because look, the video is music colleges lying to you about jazz. So if we're talking about music colleges lying to you about jazz, what does learning a clav groove and keyboards and synthesizers have to do with jazz? What does that have to do with jazz? That's just music. That's just music. People don't get on a clav and play bebop. I mean, it's like if you want to experiment with that, cool. But you got to make your own market for that. Like, jazz school is doing like there's a lot of problems, guys, with jazz school. There's a huge, big problem with a lot of the way jazz education is run. Also, thank you, Andrew, for that. There's a big problem. But if it's one thing that jazz school is doing right, out of all the things that jazz school is doing wrong that we gotta keep getting better at as much as we go. If it's one thing that they're doing right, it's teaching people how to play jazz. Like, at least focusing on it. I didn't say they're like doing a good job. Not all music schools are doing a good job, but at least the focus is, hey, we're playing jazz. Because that's what you sign up to go to. The quality of your education may vary, but there's always something to be worked on. But like if I'm going to a school and like I'm all into Cannonball Adderley, or let's say I'm a piano player, forget it. If I'm a piano player and I'm like digging into McCoy, Herbie, like early Herbie, right, like with Miles, or like Oscar Peterson or something, and then I sign up for a school because I think it's a jazz school. And then all of a sudden, the first class is on synthesizers and clavs. I'm just like, what the heck did I sign up for? Because like, what am I doing? And they're like, oh, we're teaching you how to be well-rounded. It's like, yeah, but like, this is not going to help me get a gig with the people I want to play with. What if I'm a piano player and my dream is to play with Kenny Garrett? Learning how to play clav is not going to give me that gig. What if I'm a piano player and I want to learn how to play with, I don't know, me? I don't know, whoever. If I want to play with Chris Potter. If I want to play with like, you know, like anybody who's playing straight ahead, like doing that is not going to help. Like that's not going to help you. It's going to help you play some cool music. Maybe you can get some gigs with like, you know, like Sub and Snarky Puppy or something. Or maybe like, you know, Nick Payton has like an electric project or, you know, stuff like that. It's going to help you do that. If you're talking about jobs, learn who you're trying to work for. Musicians that I play with, and that I see in the scene and wherever, they're not looking for generalist skills. They're looking for specialists. Guys, this music is about being a specialist, not about being a general technician. That's the pop mindset. We're talking about this is the idea of like getting as many gigs as possible, but that's specifically for doing that. That is not about learning the music. So in terms of music colleges lying to you about playing jazz, no, I don't think they are. I think music colleges need to do more. Absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. I have my channel on my platform and I go around doing master classes, you know, at different colleges, specifically because I want to help change education. But one thing I will never change is the focus on jazz, because if you want to be a jazz musician, you should learn jazz on the instruments that you listen to when hearing jazz. Because that's just it. You can't be doing too much stuff at once. It's okay to focus. I talk about this all the time. It's okay to focus on a thing. Focus on it, learn it, get deep in it. Because only then will you be able to have a basis and a foundation for doing other things. It doesn't mean don't listen to other stuff. I was already fooling around and making a whole bunch of mess with other instruments. Started teaching myself piano when I was in 8th grade. And I was only playing saxophone for 2 years at that point. But it doesn't mean I dropped everything, you know, or tried to practice piano exactly the same amount of time I started playing saxophone. And I was playing Barry too. Then with the alto, soprano, tenor, just fooling around. I didn't take lessons on those instruments. It was just kind of fooling around. You don't have to make everything a study. If jazz colleges really, like in 4 years, because most people are doing, listen, let's be real. Most people are only doing their bachelor's degree in music. And if they do pursue masters, that's still only 6 years. How are you going to get enough information about all the idiosyncrasies about jazz, harmony, history, theory, band, like practicing like in both combos and big bands, private lessons, and you want to talk about music entrepreneurship because you're trying to like talk about like getting people to prepare for gigs, and you want to get all the keyboardists to learn how to play synthesizers and all that kind of stuff and learn how to do synthesis on their own, like making their own patches and all that kind of stuff. You talking about like, or like how to do a clav, like that's a lot to be asking. That's a lot. You're either gonna be a jack of all trades or a master of one. That's kind of how it is. And when you got 4 years to do it, you gotta focus. You gotta focus. Yo, thank you for the $4. The $4.99. Specialist, not generalist, is what people need to hear in dating. I shouldn't have read that one. We can't talk about that. You opened up a whole nother stream. This is exclusive to music school though, and there's a valid argument to being rewound it. Yeah, I know people are gonna they're gonna hate me. They're gonna criticize me for not watching this video all the way through. But like, I want to move on to other stuff. But I guess it's only 3 minutes. It's just that like, I'm already kind of not into what was said. I'll give it a few more chances. Because that was kind of like the last chance for me.
Moog, because that's what's happening out there. That's what keyboard players are required to do. I'll take somebody who can do all.
Because that's the other thing. Like, the reason why it's like upsetting to me is because notice what he just said. All right, can anybody notice a really interesting linguistic difference between the way he's talking and the way, like, I don't know, a typical jazz musician might talking? There's like one word that's different that you probably don't think that I'm saying. And it's not jazzy. No, there's one word that's different about what he's saying that makes it clear what his focus is. Here's a hint. Here's a hint. It's in the video.
How to play a clav groove. You should know the basics. Should have some. That's really, really not good. Everybody who goes in to study a keyboard instrument should have some kind of basis in the modern family of keyboard instruments. You should know the basics of synthesis. You should know some organ. You should know how to play a clav groove. You should be able to take a monophonic synth lead solo on a Moog, because that's what's happening out there. That's what keyboard players are required to do.
Okay, can anybody tell me what he said that is kind of antithetical to having a focus in jazz? Like, if you want to study jazz traditionally. Loretto's in the right place. You're close. Why is that not? Why not at Smalls? Why not? Why is all that stuff he said not applicable at Smalls? Thank you, Leaf. Keyboard player. Keyboard. Yes. Look at his background. Look at everything in this video. This is the reason why I know that the focus is not, our focus is not in the same place. He's talking about why in jazz school, he's talking about what keyboard players in the real world are required to do, as if keyboard is the main instrument in straight ahead jazz. Not even just straight ahead. I mean, people play piano in pop gigs. People play piano in R&B gigs. People play piano everywhere. He's talking about keyboard, and he has keyboards everywhere. There's not a piano in sight. It's all keyboards. Probably has piano patches on his keyboard. And it's not like he doesn't have the space for it, or maybe even the money for it. I mean, look at this. It's gorgeous. He has an amazing room. It's like amazing. It's great. Probably get an upright. I mean, people give away uprights for free on online Facebook Marketplace. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, exactly, Andrew. The things he's talking about is for pop. So if the name of this video was Music College is not teaching you enough, then I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Let's do that. Why are we talking about jazz when the thing you just said has nothing to do with it? So that's why I'm just like, but that's cool. Not a bad dude. Has, good heart. And it's not like he has bad things to say. I agree with the things that he's saying from a general perspective. I just don't think we're coming from the same place, from the same community, or from the same point of study. That's all. So, but yeah. Why did Phil post a Splatoon video? This is why you are trash at Splatoon, and here's why. Ooh, Jumpy, we got to talk about that. I don't actually mean that, but I'm just saying, like, I want to point out your comment. You said this feels geared towards people who pick the wrong program for themselves. Yeah. It feels like people who like played general music and decided jazz sounds cool. Let's try it. You know, like the thing that you're supposed to do in middle school or high school. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make that choice in like at least high school where you're playing in concert band and doing classical and you're just like, man, like jazz seems more fun because it's like less notes and you get to make up your own stuff. You know, the type of things kids think. You're supposed to have that thought then, not at 21 deciding to go to music school. That's you shouldn't be doing that. Cuz you were in for a rough time. Have those immature thoughts back then, like when you're 14. Yo, absolutely. Yo, just email me. Just email me, Jolly. Yeah, the form is in the Discord though. I know a guy who made it in jazz because for music it was either classical or jazz at university he went, but he actually cared about rock. That happens a lot, man. It's unfortunate. It's crazy. It's not a bad question. I'm not really answering questions. Like, I'm not doing a Q&A really. But I do not have a video on different embouchures, but that is a good, maybe I should do that. I don't know enough about embouchures to make a video on that though. Like what I mean by that is I know about what's like optimal. I know about good embouchure technique, but I don't know about there's like many different types of embouchures and I haven't tried all of them. Like I've tried double lip and untucked lip, but like I have to look at the different embouchures that people have. That could be a really interesting video. What if I make a video like trying out different sax players' embouchures? That could be a really interesting. That could actually be a really interesting video. Like just like randomly like looking at clips of people play and like trying different like. That's actually cool. Let me write that down. It's actually kind of a cool thought. Cause like the video, let me see. Oh man, I need to show you guys Warren Marsh. Are you guys familiar with Warren Marsh? Have you guys seen Warren Marsh play? Oh yeah, this is my air conditioning remote. If you haven't seen Warren Marsh play, wait, Arson, you've never seen a video of him playing? Oh Lord, it's we used to always make fun of this in high school. Oh, this is a re-upload. Okay, yeah. Is it subconsciously? I want to make sure this is the right video. I mean, even if it's not, I want to just make sure like you can see him play because it's like, yeah. Oh yeah. Let me wait. Let me check. Come on, is there a close up? yeah. Yeah, Jolly, you say, yeah, if you know, you know. If you know, this was like the joke in high school, dude. Oh man, y'all don't know. See, y'all gonna see it first. I was gonna do. This was gonna be the main thing that I do. This is gonna be like one of the main cruxes of what I do in the embouchure video. It's like, oh, like, because the main point of my video is to show people, like, you know, don't get too caught up. Like, the moral of the story is, you know, don't get too stressed out about doing the right thing. Just do the thing that's comfortable for you and learn how to be good and efficient with it. As long as you got good technique, any embouchure works, right? That's gonna be the moral of the story. Because if you try to copy your heroes and you really love Warren Marsh, good luck. Oh wait, sure. I forgot. Let me back up so you can hear the music. Bro. Bro, he's moving. His embouchure moves how he plays. His lines and his embouchure are the same. He needs a snack. He got them flavor reads. Hey, he got them flavor reads, bruh. One loose jaw, David. Definitely has. Did I come up with the idea for embouchure after hearing my story? George goes on. No, well, no. Somebody brought up embouchure in the comments, so I just thought about it. The crazy thing is how controlled his no jaw Marsh is. Isn't that crazy? That's active. Bro, the first motion, the first movement after his breath. How do you? It's crazy. It looks like one of like a TF2 mod video or something, like where like you're stretching, like the Shrek videos where they're stretching the limbs. Like it looks like fake, like an artifact. He was flexing his look maxing endurance. Yeah, it looks like Gary's mod. Oh my god, that's so funny. His mouthpiece is gyroscope. Maybe he's playing Splatoon. Maybe he's just doing using motion controls. Have you guys seen this? Yo, what's up, Blade? just Warren Marsh. Warren Marsh was copying Shrek.
1, 2, 3, hit it!
He was just copying Shrek, dude. Open to J Music Stream, you won't? Yeah, because it's not J, so I won't do it. Unfortunately. 100 hours. 12 million views. You're kidding me. Who is that? What? Who's gonna have that on? What?
Like.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, I just want to tell you guys about Warren Marsh. I'm scrolling through the React channel right now. Peace out, yo. Yeah, send me an email once again. I can't see your real name on I can't see your real name on the YouTube chat anymore. So yeah, just tell send me an email. All right, I should probably call it. I think that's good. I think we ended on Shrek. I think that's fine. Guys, fun stream today. Clips of the week. It was fun. We didn't see a lot of clips, but we talked a lot of stuff. So, hope y'all enjoyed that. And sorry for the unlisted. That was crazy. We'll be back again. Funny enough, we might be back on Wednesday, y'all. It's very possible. It's very possible. But definitely going to be back Saturday evening. I'm actually teaching some lessons on Saturday. So, I won't be able to do a daytime stream. So I'll be doing the VOD review Saturday. Then taking a break and doing a Real Talk stream. Probably. And if I don't do that, then I might just do Real Talk on Wednesday. But thank you guys. It was fun. It was nice. You got the 3 clips. That is not a new record. We watch way more clips. We watch way more clips in other videos. Thank you for the Discord link, Dan. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you. And everybody watching the Patreon, thank you so much. If you want to see this video and you didn't get to catch it, or there's things you missed because you came in late, or like you want to watch it later because we have some cool, funny moments and some serious moments, consider joining the Patreon, where you can watch this vid there anytime, and all the other clips of the week and all the other stream VODs that are not available here on YouTube. So, but yeah, I'm going to go eat my salmon. I made salmon and roasted cabbage with garlic. I'm going to eat. Everybody go eat too. Get some, stay clean, stay fit, stay healthy, stay swinging, and stop saying jazzy. See you guys, everybody. Peace.